The jungle floor was a tapestry of damp earth and decaying leaves, each step a soft squelch in the suffocating humidity. They called him a fool, a dreamer chasing phantoms, but Elias knew the legends were true. Deep within the emerald heart of the Amazon, beyond the reach of maps and reason, lay the sunken city of Xylos. For weeks he had pushed through a near-impenetrable wall of green, his machete a silver flash against the colossal trunks of ironwood and strangler figs. The air, thick with the scent of wet soil and exotic blossoms, hummed with the unseen life of the jungle. Elias, guided by a tattered leather-bound journal and an unshakable belief, felt he was close. The carvings on the trees were growing more frequent, strange sigils that mirrored the cryptic illustrations in his guide. He was not just an explorer. He was a pilgrim on the verge of his sacred destination, drawn by the promise of a civilization lost to time. The shift was subtle at first, a change in the quality of the light filtering through the dense canopy. The vibrant symphony of the jungle began to fade, replaced by an unnerving silence that seemed to swallow sound whole. A strange pearlescent mist, cool and cloying, coiled up from the forest floor, wrapping around the ancient trees like spectral shrouds. It clung to Elias's clothes, chilling him to the bone despite the tropical heat. Disorientation set in as the familiar landmarks vanished into the swirling vapor. He checked his compass, but the needle spun erratically, a captive in some unseen magnetic field. It was then that the whispers began. They were faint like the rustle of dry leaves, yet they seemed to come from everywhere at once, slithering into his ears with incomprehensible words. He saw things in the corner of his eye, flickering movements, pale shapes that dissolved the moment he turned to face them. The jungle was no longer a neutral wilderness. It felt alive, sentient, and profoundly unwelcoming. Deeper within the mist-shrouded ruins, Elias stumbled into a vast, roofless chamber. The air here was heavy with sorrow, a palpable grief that seemed to emanate from the very stones. In the center of the chamber, atop a moss-covered altar, rested a crystal artifact. It pulsed with a soft, ethereal light, casting long, dancing shadows that writhed like living things. Kneeling before it was a figure, translucent and shimmering, the source of the overwhelming sadness. It was the ghost of a guardian, its form a wavering outline of a warrior clad in archaic armor, its face a mask of eternal mourning turned towards Elias. No words were spoken, yet a torrent of feeling flooded his mind, a story of betrayal, a forgotten duty, and an unending vigil. The ghost raised a spectral hand, not in aggression but in a gesture of profound warning. The artifact was not a treasure to be claimed, but a seal, a lock on something ancient and terrible. The whispers intensified, now filled with a hungry, malevolent yearning. A primal fear, cold and absolute, seized Elias. He understood now that he was a trespasser in a place of sacred sorrow, an intruder upon a timeless watch. The jungle's secrets were not meant for him, or for any mortal man. He turned and fled, crashing blindly through the undergrowth. The mournful gaze of the guardian burned into his memory. He did not stop until the mist receded and the familiar sounds of the jungle returned. A comforting roar after the spectral silence. Elias emerged from the jungle weeks later, a different man. He was gaunt, his eyes holding a haunted look that would never leave him. He spoke no more of Xylos, and the tattered journal was never seen again. He had found his legendary city, but in its place he had discovered a truth far more terrifying. Some places are left alone for a reason, and some secrets are meant to be kept by the dead.